All right, gang. The gate was 6.7 million. The attendance was 19,238, sold out. We shattered the arena record by $2 million. The performances went to Wells, Johnson, Turner, and Stoltzfus. Who's got the first question?
Dana, a very good, interesting, tactical main event between Islam and Ian Machado Garry. Ian showed great defensive work. Islam showed that he was strong either against a bigger guy. Give us your thoughts on the main event and how it played out.
What did you say? He was what?
Stronger and...
Let me read. They have this thing like AI doing it for me now. Machado, Ian showed great defensive work. Islam showed that he was strong even against the bigger guy. Give your thoughts on the main event and how it played out.
When I hear it back, it sounds like a bad question. Not repeat it back to me.
Not a bad question. I think that, this is my honest opinion on it. I felt like tonight was set up for the upset. I felt like the upset could happen tonight with so much on the line, all the records that Islam has, and he's going to break Anderson Silva's record. There's weight classes for a reason. Ian Garry is a big, rangy, strong guy who has great takedown defense. I mean, if you look at his takedown defense tonight against Islam, it was impressive. I felt like, I think that Ian is a talented guy. If he had even an ounce of killer instinct in that fifth round, he had been beating him to the body. Islam's whole, I think, right side was beat up. His face was beat up. You don't come out and hug and shake hands. And that shit drives me fucking crazy when there's so much at stake. And there's also, a lot of mental, gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it in this game. You come out in that fifth round with a flying knee or something crazy and you try to finish the fight. I think that this is one of those fights that Ian will go back and watch and say, fuck, wish I could do that over again.
Would you agree going into the fifth round, it almost looked like Ian was actually the fresher man, like Islam had more?
100%. And, if he came out and tried to destroy and win that last round, with everything that he had, I think it's a totally different fight. And then he gives Islam that explosive, he exploded up and got his back. And once he took his back and put the hooks in, that was a wrap. That he's going to ride that out till the round ends.
I felt like this.
But, that's how I felt. But on the Islam side, Islam went out, it's the complete opposite now, against a bigger, strong, rangy guy who has good takedown defense, controlled him, shut him down. I don't know if he was in his head, and Ian felt like he had to come out and shake hands in the fifth round or whatever, but, Islam did exactly what he needed to do to win that fight.
Yeah. Do you feel like what Islam is now doing at welterweight is more impressive than anything he's done before because it's quite clear that maybe this isn't his completely natural division?
When you go in there, if you're at the weigh-ins or when I went in after the fight and Ian Garry came over and shook my hand, Ian Garry's handshake is like a fucking vice grip, and he is a big, powerful, rangy guy. And, for Islam to go in and do what he did to him tonight, physical and mental. Yeah.
You and Ian had a long conversation after the fight. What were you guys talking about?
Yeah, he's just like, listen, I know I'm one of the best in the world, and, I'll be back. This isn't going to, yeah. Well, 5 minutes ago, if you'd have come out of that fucking corner like a raging fucking bull, we might be having a different conversation right now.
Do you feel like Ian's too nice to his opponents? At the press conference, he wanted to build Islam up. He's been nice about him all week.
I think that Ian's a classy guy is what I think. And, he always shows class. He did, before the fight, he goes over and shakes, all the corners' hands and all that stuff. It's great. But when that fucking bell rings, you got to switch. You got to switch all that shit off and go. And you definitely got to do it in the fifth round after the, he fought a great fight against Islam who, everybody in this room and everybody else is saying, well, we might start talking about GOAT. You don't go shake the fucking GOAT's hand going into the fifth round. You come out to fucking annihilate him. I mean, that just has to be your mindset. In my humble opinion.
Can I get your thoughts on the co-main event between Mackenzie and Gillian Robertson?
So I'm a Gillian fan, and you know, I was talking about Joe Daddy Stevenson and BJ Penn. I was way off on that one. I was actually surprised at how much Mackenzie dominated her on the ground and on the feet.
And then going to I don't know if you were even here, but the first fight of the night, Jeremiah Wells, his opponent Misabek Orbai opened up as like a minus 1,000 favorite.
Yeah,
Quite
and he won a bonus tonight too.
Apparently he used to work here back in the day, and then now he's kicking off. He was kind of on the fence about retirement. He says he wants a top 15 if he probably doesn't get like a more upward trajectory of his career. He might step away. Have you guys got any clarification on?
How old is he? He's
pushing 40.
Yeah. Tonight was an incredible win for him. He comes back here at that age, wins in spectacular fashion, and gets a huge bonus, and it's awesome.
Hey Dana, can you clarify the bonuses? There were two Johnsons on the card. One had a Scottish twister, and the other one had a big knockout. So
yeah, Charles.
Okay, Charles Johnson. Thanks.
Dana, right here. Can you just expand a little bit more on how impressive what Islam did tonight is? I mean, 17 straight wins. Anderson Silva's run ended in 2013, I think, and it's been 13 years for someone to exceed that. Like, how hard is this?
Yeah, and it's very hard. And if he keeps going like he says he's going to keep going, I mean, it might never be beaten, at least while I'm alive. So it's very impressive what he did. And again, in my thoughts on how Ian performed tonight, so like I said, you can flip that whole script and then drop it on Islam on how impressively he beat a big, strong, rangy guy who was doing damn good work. Islam did everything he needed to do to beat this guy. And like I said, there's weight classes for a reason, and tonight's matchup was a perfect example of that.
And it seems like the next one could maybe be the hardest one yet. You guys had, Prochas and Morales on the screen. Is it just obviously Tuesday you'll go back and kind of discuss who might be the front runner?
Yeah.
Carlos says he's been promised it. Morales was the backup.
Yeah, I know. He was telling me, I'm coming in there after the fight. I said, yeah. Just let Islam have his moment, and, we don't need you running in there with the whole fucking Muslim Brotherhood in here tonight. We don't need that shit. Let's just let's pump the brakes and see what's next.
Well, you guys showed Usman Nurmagomedov on the broadcast as well. Is there any update on talks with him or anything in that regard with him?
I mean, if we did, we'd announce it.
Sure. And lastly, there was 8 finishes tonight, and at this point of the year, there's been the most finishes, highest finishing rate since 2018 in the UFC. Is that just coincidence? Is that matchmaking, or do you think the finish bonus has maybe
I think it's a
things?
little bit of everything. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Dana, over here. So, Dana, this was the UFC's first show in Philadelphia in over 7 years. What did you think of the crowd tonight, and how quickly do you want to come back here to Philly?
Yeah, I mean, I love Philly. I love this city. I always have fun here at other sporting events, too, not just ours. So, yes, we will be back sooner than this run that we were on here. But, COVID's a big part of that, too. So it's not just because we didn't want to come back to Philly or something. COVID was a huge part of that. To come in here again, sell out, and think about this. Now, everybody's spoiled with UFC because we sell out every fucking show, and it's blah, 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 blah. We're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with a Russian Muslim and an Irish kid, and we do a $7 million gate, and we shatter the fucking record here. The biggest event that's ever been held here, we beat it by $2 million. It's crazy. Unheard of before. If you fought in Philly, you'd have to have a guy from Philly in the main event. And, it's pretty impressive.
And last one from me is, since you also oversee Zuffa as well, when do you think Zuffa will become to Philadelphia as well, since you just recently brought them to New York?
Yeah, soon. Yeah, I actually can't wait to bring Zuffa to Philly. Yes, sir. Go ahead. My guy right here with the glasses, yeah.
Me? Oh, yeah. Dana, so another banger for the flyweight division. Eduardo Chapolin took the fight on 4 days' notice. Charles Johnson gets dropped, comes back with a Scottish twister. What's the ceiling for this flyweight division? Because it just seems to be getting better and better.
Yeah, I know that the boys, meaning the matchmakers, they've been working on all the divisions right now. We're working on some fun shit in our Tuesday get-togethers. So over the next year, you're just gonna see all the divisions just getting nastier and nastier. And then obviously we're in another contender series season right now, so it's gonna be a fun 9 weeks coming up.
Awesome. And one more from me. Do we have any update on Zhang Weili? Because a lot of people are interested in that fight with Mackenzie Dern potentially.
Yeah, I agree. No, we don't have anything on her. Yeah, we're still working with her. Love her and hope she comes back soon. Go ahead. Yep. Guy with the mic. Yep. Oh.
Dana?
All right, I'll shut the fuck up. Lene's running
Right
the
behind
show.
the last guy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
To go back on what he was saying about being 7 years since you've been to Philly, it's been 7 years since you've been to Minneapolis. Any news on coming to Minneapolis anytime soon?
Yeah. I don't know off the top of my head, but yes.
And then I met a German tourist here that came just for this fight, and he would like me to ask you when you're coming to Germany, maybe shortly after Minneapolis.
You ran into a German guy that wanted you to ask me when are we going to Germany.
Yes, he said you can sell out any stadium in Germany, that the promotion there sells out all the arenas, and they are nothing compared to you. So.
All right. Duly, thank you. Yeah. Fuck, what was I going to tell you? I was going to tell you something. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
But thank you.
Edson
Yes, sir.
Barboza retired tonight after like 15 years fighting for the UFC and everything. What is his legacy to you in this company?
He's such a great kid, and he's been in so many wars. And, yeah, I mean, we really like him. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say other than he's an absolute savage. Been awesome having him, fight in this company, and we really respect him and like him a lot.
And one for me, the GOAT status thing, right? Especially when it comes to Islam. There was a lot of talk of like maybe he's got some more work to do and all that. After the night, what other boxes do you think he needs to check to be considered the GOAT?
Well, I don't know what your opinion is, meaning all of you, but, if he didn't have that one loss on his record, it'd almost be a no-brainer. And this kid wants to fight all the time. He stays active. And after tonight, and what he did tonight, he talks about, 3-4 more fights. And so I think what you do is you just let this guy's career play out. And it's almost like what I keep saying about Zuffa boxing, Judge us at the end of this year, January of 2027. It's like when Islam's career is winding up and starting to wrap up, the more fights he keeps winning and the things he keeps, the records he keeps breaking, it'll all speak for itself.
Dana, way back here. Obviously, Khabib was in Islam's corner. There's a little bit of footage as well of him putting the gloves on. Is there maybe a chance you could have another little conversation with him about thinking about doing one more?
Khabib? Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Not even worth the chat, no?
Listen, when he was trying to retire, I was all over that fucking guy. I don't think you'll get him back now. Plus, he's got to weigh like 225 or something. Yeah, he's got a good life. I don't think he's looking to fight anymore.
Speaking of people with good lives and from that kind of era, Conor McGregor got the surgery done. I suppose what's your you were over in Ireland, you were at the pub, and I know that you were on FaceTime with him as well when he had that whole thing with Makhachev and Turkey and everything. What's kind of the latest on the Mac?
He's out for a year.
What's weird about this is like he breaks the gate record, massive event, like it's the biggest event, most concurrent viewers on Paramount, and then you just immediately move on. You're like, yeah, not concerned about him.
How do you immediately what?
Like you're immediately like, yeah, not concerned about him. Not even thinking about him until next year. How are you able to just move on?
Why
so
would
quickly?
I though? The guy just had surgery.
But would you not be
What do you
on
want
the
me
phone
to?
going, like,
Well, what we're thinking about is maybe in a year from now, when he starts thinking about it, who the fuck knows what the world's even going to look like a year from now?
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Another fight that's coming up that you're involved in, this Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury saga continues to roll on. I suppose you said that you made the deal for that fight. What's happening with that? And it looks like it's going to be in New York, but then seems like Team Joshua is saying that they're not doing it unless it's in the UK.
Yeah, I need this thing for you, my friend. I'm reading your. What's happening with that? And it looks like it's going to be in New York, but then it seems like Team Joshua says they're saying it seems like it's going to be in the UK is what I'm reading here. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, this fucking saga. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. I mean, they either want to fight or they don't. I don't know.
Well, you say you made the deal for the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would you have even allowed them to put it in the contract that AJ will only do it in the UK?
Well, I didn't do his contract.
So what deal did you do?
What did I do?
So you didn't do AJ's side of the
We
deal.
did the television deal and the venue deal.
Oh, okay. And that's going to be in New York, you think, or
We'll
ideally?
see. We'll see. Listen, to make a fight, two guys have to want to fight. Period. End of story. Contracts and this and that. There's a lot of fucking money, for grabs in this fight. Do you want to fight or do you not want to fight?
But,
I don't give a shit one way or the other.
So you'd be happy to go to the UK?
It's up to them.
So you'd be happy to go to the UK?
I'd be happy. Yeah. Listen, I don't give a shit. Do you want to fight or do you not want to fight?
Thank you.
Yeah. The fight should happen 10 years ago. Is it going to happen now? We'll see.
All right. Hey, Dana. Congratulations on tonight's gate. Something I wanted to ask is that Bella Mir is making her debut soon on the Contender Series, the daughter of Frank Mir, former UFC heavyweight champion. How does it feel that you're finally starting to see second-generation fighters come into the UFC from the time you were starting up?
Yeah. It's interesting because usually that doesn't go well. You know what I mean? When the next generation tries to fight. But she is an absolute freak of nature and incredibly special. And her goals in combat sports aren't just to be the UFC world champion. She wants to be the Zuffa boxing world champion. She wants to win an Olympic medal. She wants to be the UFC BJJ champion. And, shit, she might start slapping too. Who knows what she'll do. But, yeah, I'm excited about her. I've been excited about her since she graduated from high school.
So why do you believe that second-generation stars don't work out sometimes in the UFC? Is it because they were too spoiled growing up and they don't have the same hunger?
Yeah, definitely. And you grow up different than your parents did in many ways, and their path isn't yours, normally. But when you sit down and you have dinner with Frank and his wife and Bella, and they start telling Bella Mir stories, like, where's Bella? And they look out the window and she's got like these sandbags running around the cul-de-sac at like 6 years old. She's built differently. And she went to college and she was in the middle of a wrestling season. And then she would come home for vacation, Thanksgiving or whatever that you get out of school for. And she would come fight in like jiu-jitsu tournaments and beat like the best jiu-jitsu people in the world without even training jiu-jitsu. She was just wrestling. So she is an absolute standout freak of nature and a one-of-one unicorn.
All right, and last question. So this goes back to, you have been in this game so long now that you're starting to see parents of kids come in. You started you took up the UFC 25 years ago. You took Overboard. And now today, this is the inaugural year of Zuffa Boxing. And the startup, we saw you at the show last month at MSG. Just how much is the startup of Zuffa Boxing similar to the startup of the UFC in the 2001 for you? And does it give you the same kind of thrill in starting up a promotion again like that?
Yeah, I love starting from the beginning. I've actually been having fun with this, and I have fun with Slap too. I like building things, and we just did that fight in Ireland. The place was packed and the crowd was awesome. It was like being in Philly here. Yeah, I love it.
And sorry, one more. Last month I got to ask Edgar Berlanga if he would like to fight during the Puerto Rican Day Parade there in New York City during that weekend in the theater. We've seen it happen for Callum Walsh before around with St. Patrick's Day celebrations in Ireland. Could you see Zuffa Boxing trying to do something like that?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not saying we would do it this year, but yeah, we would definitely do that.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dana, right here in front of you. So this is the first women's title fight of the year that we just had. Obviously, there was the injury with Kayla Harrison that interrupted your plans earlier in the year. But what's kind of the status of Kayla and also of Valentina Shevchenko? Will we be seeing them defend these titles this year?
I certainly hope so.
Is there any insight? Like, is it more than hope, or is there any insight you have?
Well, obviously with Kayla, it's a very crazy situation. Neck surgery, and after the surgery that she had on her neck, let me tell you what you don't want happening immediately. Amanda Nunes grabbing onto your neck. So, we want to make sure that she's 110% healthy before she comes in and fights.
And what of Valentina? Because her schedule's been pretty inactive.
What about who?
Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Her schedule's been
Yeah,
relatively
she'll
inactive
fight
the last
this
few
year.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Dana, your friend Dean Thomas just announced on the post-fight show that he's going to retire from cornering fighters after Gillian's loss tonight. I'm just curious your thoughts on that because you guys have a relationship, and he wears so many hats with the promotion, right, as a host and podcast and all that stuff.
Yeah, he didn't say anything to me. I didn't know about that. I never heard of retiring from cornering. that might be a first. That's the first I've ever heard of it. I don't know. Maybe he's just tired of the grind of, working with somebody. He's worked with so many fighters over the years. Maybe he's just burnt out.
Yeah, and just lastly, on the second fight of the night, Neil Magny got another win. He has 25 wins in the UFC now. The only 3 fighters to do that are him, Jim Miller, Charles Oliveira. Like, how impressive is that longevity and success?
Yeah, that's awesome. He's such a tough guy, and and he was like an underdog tonight, right? I don't know how the hell Neil Magny is an underdog ever. How you could ever count that guy out in a fight, no matter how old he is. He's just like a Jim Miller. Yeah. That's it. All right, guys. Have a great night. And thanks, Philly. Philly is always awesome, man. I love this place.